Hey there, history fans. Today we're diving into a force that reshaped maps and minds: nationalism. Imagine feeling such a strong connection to your country, its people and culture, that you'd fight for its independence or unification. That's nationalism in a nutshell. It's about shared identity, a sense of belonging, and often a desire for self-determination. Now, nationalism wasn't always around. It emerged in the 19th century, fueled by revolutions, romanticism, and a yearning for change. It was a time when empires crumbled and nations rose from their ashes. Picture Europe in the early 1800s, a patchwork of kingdoms, empires, and principalities. People identified more with their local regions or rulers than with a broader national identity. This began to change as ideas from the Enlightenment and the French Revolution spread like wildfire. The French Revolution, with its cries of liberty, equality, fraternity, ignited a spark of change across Europe. It challenged the old order and inspired people to fight for their rights and freedoms. This period also saw the rise of Romanticism, an artistic and intellectual movement that emphasized emotion, individualism, and importantly, a fascination with national history and culture. Think epic poems, stirring music, and paintings that glorified national heroes and landscapes. All these factors created fertile ground for the seeds of nationalism to grow. Ironically, it was a French emperor, Napoleon Bonaparte, who unintentionally fueled the flames of nationalism across Europe. While aiming to create a French empire, his conquests backfired. They ignited a sense of resistance and national consciousness in the conquered lands. People resented French rule and yearned for self-governance. This resistance wasn't just about driving out the French, it was about forging a new national identity. Napoleon's empire ultimately crumbled, but the spirit of nationalism he'd inadvertently unleashed continued to burn brightly. Italy, for instance, wasn't a unified country, but a collection of separate states, some ruled by foreign powers. The yearning for a unified Italy, a nation-state for the Italian people, gained momentum throughout the 19th century. This movement for Italian unification is known as the Risorgimento, meaning resurgence or revival. Key figures emerged like Giuseppe Mazzini, a passionate nationalist writer, and Giuseppe Garibaldi, a charismatic military leader who fought for Italian unification. Their efforts, along with the political maneuvering of Count Camillo di Cavour, eventually led to the unification of Italy in 1861. The Italian Risorgimento is a powerful example of how nationalism could unite people under a common banner, even when divided by regional differences and foreign rule. Section 5. From Confederation to Empire, German unification. A similar story unfolded in the German-speaking states. For centuries, these states existed independently, but the desire for a unified German nation grew stronger, especially after the Napoleonic Wars. This desire was fueled by shared language, culture, and a growing sense of German identity. Otto von Bismarck, the cunning minister-president of Prussia, skillfully manipulated political rivalries and orchestrated a series of wars that ultimately led to German unification in 1871. Under Prussian leadership, the German Empire emerged as a major power on the European stage. German unification, like Italian unification, demonstrated the potent force of nationalism in reshaping the political landscape of Europe. Section 6. The Tricolour rises: nationalism in France. Even in France, the birthplace of the revolution that sparked nationalist sentiment across Europe, nationalism continued to shape its destiny. The French Revolution had instilled a strong sense of national identity, but it was Napoleon's conquests that, ironically, intensified it. After Napoleon's downfall, France experienced a period of political instability. Yet the French people's sense of national pride and their desire for a strong France remained powerful. This sentiment fueled the rise of Napoleon III, Napoleon Bonaparte's nephew, who promised to restore French glory. While Napoleon III's reign ultimately ended in defeat, it highlighted how nationalism continued to be a potent force in French politics. Section 7. Revolution and Reaction. The Dual Nature of Nationalism. Nationalism wasn't always a force for unity and progress. While it could inspire liberation movements like the Italian Risorgimento, it could also be manipulated to serve less noble purposes. In some cases, nationalism was used to justify aggressive foreign policies, imperial ambitions, and the suppression of minorities within a nation. Leaders sometimes exploited nationalist sentiments to consolidate their power and silence dissent. This darker side of nationalism would have devastating consequences in the 20th century, leading to world wars and ethnic conflicts. Section 8. A Legacy of Pride and Prejudice. The 19th century witnessed the rise of nationalism as a potent force that redrew the map of Europe. It fueled unification movements, sparked revolutions, and toppled empires. It instilled a sense of pride and belonging, but it also sowed the seeds of future conflicts. Nationalism's legacy is complex and multifaceted. It's a reminder that history is rarely black and white. Section 9. Conclusion. Nationalism's enduring impact. So, there you have it, a crash course on the rise of nationalism in 19th century Europe. From the streets of Paris to the battlefields of Italy, nationalism ignited a passion for self-determination and reshaped the political landscape of a continent. As we move further into the 21st century, nationalism continues to be a powerful force, shaping global politics and influencing how we see ourselves and the world around us. Understanding its origins and its complex legacy is crucial for navigating the challenges and opportunities of our interconnected world. That's it for today. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell for more history adventures.